Hi, everyone. Thanks for joining and welcome back to Wall Street Silver. Our guest today is my good friend Bart Brands. Bart is a precious metals specialist at Gold Republic and a certified security intelligence professional. Welcome back to Wall Street Silver.
Thanks, Ivan. It's amazing being back again, and especially after such a I think historic and pivotal situation with the second term of Trump being chosen as the 47th president of the United States.
Yeah, it's incredible. Like such exciting times. And obviously I wanted to get you on and talk about how will this affect the market? How will this affect silver? How will this affect gold? What are your thoughts?
As I shared recently in a Dutch spoken analysis, is I think we could actually see a slight pullback. We've seen it the first time that Trump got chosen to be president of the United States, and
Right.
that pullback was, I think, about 5 to 10% before gold prices and silver prices going up again. And in the first 4 years of Trump presidency, we've seen gold really performing really good. So I always go back to fundamental analysis, and with all the fundamentals, taking those into account, I think this might be a blip, if you can call it that, 5 to 10% contraction or correction, I should say. But I think if you see a correction, if you see prices that really attract you, then I think that should be a moment if you aren't positioned yet, to take a position. If you have a position and you would like to expand a position, take these moments, because the fundamental analysis doesn't change. We see that the United States has a huge problem when it comes to fiscal and monetary policy. We see that the Fed will they will be lowering interest rates at the next FOMC meeting,
Oh yeah.
which is on Thursday, the 8th. So they will be lowering rates with at least 25 basis points, and with a debt of $36 trillion. There's no easy fix. There's no easy way out. And
Right.
so, taking those things into account, even though I'm pretty optimistic when it comes to geopolitics. If you look at the conflict, for example, in Ukraine, I think he could really end that war.
Absolutely.
I think, yeah, yeah. So I think there are reasons to be optimistic, to be positive. I also think that if you look at the fundamental problems, those are just too big to ignore, or think that a new presidency will fix those.
Are you seeking a secure, truly offshore solution to protect your wealth? Whether you're invested in gold, silver, or other precious metals, strategic wealth preservation is the strategic storage choice. Located in the Cayman Islands, SWP offers a state-of-the-art 6,000 square foot facility, purpose-built to safeguard your assets with unparalleled security and privacy. Why choose the Cayman Islands? This premier jurisdiction has zero taxes on stored precious metals, no reporting requirements, and complete peace of mind, making it the ideal solution for investors looking to diversify internationally. At SWP, your metals are fully segregated, allocated, and insured. You can buy online or in person. Plus, SWP has a dedicated logistics team that facilitates the global transportation of your precious metals from almost anywhere in the world. Learn more about SWP and how they can help secure your precious metals offshore. Visit swpcayman.com or call them today, and the link will be in the description below. Thanks. Right.
Problems.
Yeah, because you absolutely nailed it. At the end of the day, there will be a correction in silver and gold, but the fundamentals is there's still trillions of dollars in debt. There's still a physical, there's still physical t turmoil, depreciation of the dollar. So at the end of the day, should people take advantage of these corrections and, really start to expand their position before, because the fundamentals are still not going to change, like what you were saying.
Well, like I said, I think if you don't have a position yet, then this is the time. This
Right.
and like I said before on when visiting you, it's if you don't have any precious metals yet, then you are just preparing to fail.
Right.
So you have to have precious metals. And of course, I know that with the Trump presidency now, we've seen Bitcoin hitting an all-time high. And of course, I'm also in Bitcoin. I
Right.
also like to diversify in cryptocurrencies. And I also see that what's happening now, the Trump trade, that the market's getting really optimistic, S&P hitting all-time highs, Dow
Yeah, I've
Jones
seen
hitting
that.
all-time highs. And I understand that movement because everybody's now back to risk on. But just looking at the fundamentals, you have to diversify into gold and silver. So
Yeah.
if you do not have any gold and silver, buy it. It
Yeah.
doesn't matter how much, just put some money into gold and silver. If you
Yeah.
have a position, but you feel like you want to expand that position, maybe wait for a couple days between, I think, inauguration and or the election and inauguration. There might be a correction, but it will never be a 20 to 30% correction. I think maybe 5 or 10%. So if
Mhm.
you think these levels are good to expand your position, expand your position. And
Mhm.
think about fundamentals. Think about not only the United States, but think about maybe the tariffs that Trump might impose onto products
China.
in for example, the European Union as well,
Right.
but also China, of course. But me being based in the Netherlands, I think this Trump presidency and seeing how hard-headed European politicians are, I think that might end, or that might escalate into, well, I wouldn't say a trade war, but trade restrictions
Right.
and maybe even sanctions against the United States, and also from the United States against Europe. So
Yeah.
I think if you understand all these fundamentals, you really have to well, first of all, diversify into precious metals if you haven't yet. And if
Mhm.
you see these pullbacks and you think, well, these are levels I would like to expand my position into, I would take the chance and take these corrections and expand your position.
Now, let's say under Trump they do lower interest rates and they start printing trillions of dollars. What does that do to the like I said, we were talking earlier about fundamentals. The fundamentals are still going to be the same. The only issue,
Exactly.
the only thing is the only problem, I guess, is the monetary policy. That's the main issue. At the end of the day, 4 years, you can't fix the banks and the monetary system in 4 years, or can you?
Well, I think you just hit the nail on the head, and because you cannot. I think banks are in the United States are sitting on $500 billion of unrealized losses.
Right.
So $500 billion of losses that are on the books, they cannot wipe those out. They cannot make them go away. These are losses that will have to be reckoned with.
Yeah.
And so, looking at all these problems that have been building for decades since we came off of the gold standard in 71.
Yeah.
I think all these problems will have to be fixed. And the only way that they can be fixed is, well, there are actually two ways. You can either go bankrupt, but the United States will never go into default, or you can inflate the problems away,
Yeah.
which makes your currency lose its value, its purchasing
Yeah.
power.
No,
And that's what we've seen in the last 50 years. And that's why we've seen gold and silver
absolutely.
performing the way that they have done.
Yeah.
So this bull run that's gold and silver have been on, that's not based on something like who is going to be the next president. And
Yeah.
if the next president is Trump, which I'm glad, I think he
Yeah.
has a lot
Potential.
more potential of fixing some
Right.
of the problems in the United States for Americans.
Yeah.
But when it comes to, for example, myself being based in the Netherlands, I think that it might even exacerbate
Right.
some of the
Yeah,
problems that we are having. So I'm looking to see if I can expand my own positions. I'm looking at some levels, and I think these the levels that I'm looking at, if precious metals hit these levels, I'm going to expand my own position.
absolutely.
Not only precious metals, by the way.
But
I'm
other
bullish
metals
on
as well.
Bitcoin as well.
Yeah.
I'm bullish on maybe some stocks or some mining companies, and I think this correction is just a way to expand positions and get
Yeah.
it and make sure that uh, you're going to profit on the other side of this trade.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, Bart, again, it's such a huge pleasure having you come down to Wall Street Silver. I would absolutely love to have you back on as, the inauguration continues and goes past this week and next week. But yeah, thank you so much for coming down to Wall Street Silver. Would love to have you on soon.
I'll be back, Ivan. You
Yeah, I
know.
know. Awesome. Talk to you soon.
All right. Thank you. Bye
Bye.
bye.